Hey y'all, I'm Mandy Thompson. I'm an artist. I have the loudest studio chair. Mandy Thompson, artist, journaling instructor, and creator of Analog, a field guide for the soul. Maybe you found this video because you want to get better at drawing and you want to do it fast, right? I'm going to share with you a short drawing exercise that I've recently discovered, and it will immediately improve your motor skills and give you just a satisfying sketch at the end. I do this quite a bit in my journal these days, and even though I've drawn all my life, I still need to practice, y'all. Just like a pianist runs scales as a warm-up or just as a part of the daily, weekly routine. Practice helps us get better, and it helps us trust ourselves and learn to trust our eyes and our hands when we're drawing. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to walk you through a short drawing exercise that I learned from cravepainting.com. It has multiple steps to it. I'll walk you through, and you can actually just do this with me. Grab a pen, piece of paper, get your journal, and let's get started. Okay.
This is the list that I keep on hand. Y'all know I love sticky notes. I got this from cravepainting.com, a 15-minute drawing exercise. And I thought I could walk through this with y'all. So first, you do a minute or two of practicing a stroke, hatching, cross-hatching, scumbling. I'm going to do scumbling today because it's something I love to do, and I want to show y'all how. Scumbling is when you just make a scattering of lines. This can give a rough shadow, a rough texture in your drawing. This would be used for leaves, foliage, plants. If you're doing a drawing that has a lot of chaos in it, that would be good for scumbling. And like I said, you do this first one for about a minute or two. I fill a couple of lines in my journal. I keep a little piece of notebook paper because I have unlined pages, and this gives me a reference for lines. After that, you want to start with your second stroke. For this, I'm going to go with hatching straight down. This is something I need to practice. I also want to learn how to hold my drawing tool a bit further up the handle, because it changes your line quality. It changes the sense of stiffness, like your writing is very stiff, or this can have a bit more personality to it. I'm gonna fill a couple of these lines. And by lines, I mean notebook lines. Okay, let me concentrate for a second, see if I can get a good quality line going. Okay, and then in the third movement, you combine these strokes to give an even darker shading quality. So oftentimes drawing artists, sketching artists will use these types of shading lines to create dark quality value in their drawing. So let's do scumbling first, and then we'll layer over it with the hatching, the vertical hatching. I'm going to do a couple of lines worth. This is only going to be for a minute, the 5th minute of this exercise. Y'all, I'm not actually timing this, because who can draw and talk and time at the same time? Not me. But you see how this is getting even darker using this hatching, these downstrokes. So here's an example of how you could do this. Like if you wanted to, let's say you have a bush going here and you need to put some even darker pieces to the base of the bush, you can do that by just adding more downstrokes, you see? So it gives it an even darker quality. So let's finish this line, and then we'll move on to the next one. It's the shape of the day. Not the contour of your day, but choosing a shape and practicing drawing it. This is just a way we keep our hands comfortable with the movement and motion and shape. I am going to do a circle because I love them, and I always find them to be a bit challenging. This is the 6th and 7th minute. Again, I'm not timing. That takes way more coordination than I have on a Friday morning. But it's just a general idea of the pace of this exercise. Okay, and then the texture of the day. You know, we did our scumbling. I think I want to do some bushes. Let's do some bushes. I know, you're thinking these don't look like bushes. I agree. However, if you're doing a landscape, you're going to have other elements in play. You know, you're going to have trees and maybe a road. And with that, it'll give it a little more context. Your mind will fill in the blanks and go, oh, there's a shrub. Trust me on this. The half of the drawing challenge is trusting the viewer's eye, letting the viewer fill in the blanks. Give them an impression, and they will turn it into the thing you're trying to represent. It works. It works. This feels more like a rock, but we're gonna go with it. Okay, and then after that, it says to do pillows. Ideally, you have a pillow to look at. I'm in my studio, so, you know, I've got nothing but paintbrushes and markers and neocolors, but I'm going to imagine a pillow. You know, how they have folds and creases and bulk. Give it a little shading, make it look like it has depth to it. Again, remember, we're just practicing. Hello. Don't get too caught up in it. You hear your brain saying, that doesn't look like a pillow. Well, I mean, you know, that's fine. We're practicing. That's all we're doing, y'all. Warming up, getting ourselves going. Notice I'm using cross hatching here. Did you see? I have a messy hatching style, but that's okay. We each have our own unique hand. Just like your handwriting is unique, so too is your line work. Okay, and then after pillows, you have about 3 minutes to do a quick sketch. I am going to sketch. I'm going to show you what I'm going to sketch. I'm going to sketch this jar of supplies. You won't be able to see it in the camera angle, but it's right here in front of me. Quick sketch, fast movement, fast lines. Your emphasis is on impression, not accuracy, okay? And ideally, I can't really use scumbling, but ideally you can use some of what you've just practiced to fill in the shading and such on your sketch. I'm going to go with a continuous line drawing. I've been practicing that lately and I really like it. It keeps me from getting too caught up in the details and gives me a sense of freedom as I'm moving. I do pick up my pen or pencil just a little bit, and that's okay. While you're sketching, keep your eye on your subject. Trust that your eye will tell your hand where to go. You don't have to be so stiff about it. Let's put some form in here. Okay, back to the continuous line. Water brush pen or water brush. I like the lid, it has ridges on it. This is a little bit dark, So I'm going to give it some natural shading. And then up here I've got a paintbrush with bristles. And then the handle. Okay, going up here to another marker. And the marker here. Okay, right here I've got a fountain pen. That'll give an interesting shape up top. Remember, you spend more time looking at your actual subject than your drawing. Your eye will tell your hand what to do. And then there's a toothbrush. Don't y'all love that? Why? I use the toothbrush for splatters. That's welcome to South Georgia. I love dipping a toothbrush in really, really wet acrylic or, you know, whatever kind of medium watercolor. And then like this, splattering the paint. Okay. One last pencil that was just revealed thanks to my random brush work. There you go. So I'm gonna put some shading right here because the fountain pen handle is black, and it'll give a strong sense of contrast. There's nothing here that feels empty. Let's trust my eye, leave it that way. This lid was dark, so I'm going to give that a little darkness too. Right, remember, you only have like 3 minutes to complete this sketch, right? So you can't get too caught up in it. Plus, the fast, rapid urgency of sketching like this really gives a sense of life to the drawing. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm sorry, I didn't realize you could see the bottom. I'm going to leave it there, y'all. This is, like I said, this is just a quick drawing, 15-minute drawing practice. I got this from cravepainting.com. It's a way to get your hands warmed up, get your eye warmed up, get you into the flow of drawing. The first 2 minutes, you work on your first stroke, scumbling. For me, the second 2 minutes, you know, minute 3 and 4, you go for the second stroke. I did hatching, of vertical hatching. In the 5th minute, you combine strokes, and then you practice a shape of the day. For the next 2 minutes, you go to the 7-minute mark with that, and then the 9-minute mark, you go to texture of the day. With this, I did scumbling for bushes. And then to the 11-minute mark, you do pillows. And then for the last 3 minutes or 4 minutes, you do a quick sketch. It's a great way to work in your sketchbook or in your journal. Loosen your hand up if you're interested in sketching, and just have some fun. Okay? Y'all enjoy.
So there you go. That's it. And like I said, you have a satisfying sketch at the end. It's not just about the exercises, right? So I'm going to link the post to cravepainting.com. I'm going to link that post in the notes so you can check it out for yourself. They go into much more detail about how to do this process. But I would say just do this a few times a week. Maybe on a day when you want to spend some time in your journal or your sketchbook and you don't really know what to do. You're not feeling super flourishy or inspiring, or you want to make big stuff in there, but you do want to get in and do something. Spend some time doing that exercise a few times a week. Like, comment, subscribe, ask me questions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in another video.